What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are backing out with an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be an overused tier battle. Everybody's favorite tier! Hooray! Now, as you can see by my team,
what a try-hard, using OU Pokemon in the OU tier, disliked and unsubscribed.
My opponent's team, very stacked, Tapu, Lucha,
You seem to be having fun.
Actually, I'm surprised to see Mega Alakazam. You don't really see Mega Alakazam very often in overuse, so at least that's the diversity Pokemon in my opponent's team. So let's just hop right into this battle against Kate, as you guys are going to really enjoy this Wi-Fi battle. It's a very long one if you couldn't tell by the length of the video. So we both lead off with our Tapus. My opponent leads off with the Lele. I lead off with Bulu. This is how we OU, except if this was really how we OU, there'd be a Tapu Koko instead of the Tapu Lele. But Tapu Lele is equally as annoying in my opinion. So my Tapu Bulu, of course, you guys should know by now, is dual screens because I literally run the set in every single overused tier battle because I don't have any OU Pokemon because I don't play this cancerous tier. Now I go for a light screen because Tapu Lele scares me and Mega Alakazam scares me, so I'm like light screen. And my opponent brings in Landorus T, and I'm like, he's gonna Sky Strike me or go for Stealth Rock. So either way, I'm gonna bring in Articuno as Death Fodder because Landorus T, you have no idea what it's gonna pull out of its butthole. I give him like 27 sets, not broken by the way. My opponent does end up being a Stealth Rock Landorus T, so we're able to bring in Articuno before the Landorus T, rapes it with Stealth Rock. So I'm pretty sure my opponent's gonna be fearful of the Ice type move. My opponent's gonna switch out into Rotom Wash, and there was one thing I did notice from Team Preview while heading into this battle, and it was that my opponent's ice resistance is Rotom Wash. Now, this may not be an issue at first, but there is a move known as Freeze Dry, which is super effective against water types. My opponent's only ice resistance being Rotom Wash. You can see where this is going, right? My opponent's gonna go for Volt Switch.
Activate my weakness policy.
And my opponent's like, oh, I made a bad move. And I'm just like, nah, B, I'm just gonna miss the next Hurricane anyway, not a big deal. In comes Tapu Lele, and I'm pretty sure after Agility, I should be able to outspeed even Scarf Tapu Lele, so I'm gonna go straight for Hurricane here. Thankfully, we're able to connect the Hurricane, so at the very least we're able to weaken Tapu Lele, but we're actually able to OHKO Tapu Lele. I wasn't expecting that much damage from Articuno. Good job, Articuno, but now in comes the Hawlucha.
Yeah, Shiny Hawlucha!
Very balanced Pokemon. Shiny Hawlucha activates the Psychic Seed and gets a free agility for existing. It's like terrain totally balanced. My opponent's gonna go for the high jump kick here, hoping this doesn't knock me out. And Articuno is very bulky, so we're able to live and go for Freeze Dry, hoping at +2 we're able to knock out Hawlucha, as thankfully we're able to knock out the Tapu Lucha core. So at the very least, Articuno being able to break both Tapu Lele and Hawlucha is phenomenal for me. Now in comes Alakazam, and I don't know if Articuno can outspeed Mega Alakazam because Mega Alakazam is pretty fast. I believe it's 150 base speed, so it's pretty difficult to outspeed this mon, but I think after Agility I should still be good. I'm just kind of like, I'm not too sure. But yeah, my opponent's going to trace my pressure and, activate the pressure. But thankfully, Articuno does outspeed, and I know Freeze Dry probably won't knock Mega Alakazam out because it has a really high base def stat for being Alakazam. So we're able to knock him out with Hurricane. So Articuno pretty much knocked out the Psychic Terrain core on my opponent's team, which is phenomenal for me. In comes Kartana, and we're able to outpace it even if he is Scarf Kartana. So Freeze Dry is going to OHKO the Kartana. Don't even have to risk Hurricane there. So Articuno knocking out 4 Pokemon. Articuno is popping off right now. And yeah, my opponent is going to bring in Landorus T, and I don't know if you guys could see, but there's no ice resistance on my opponent's team. So, or was there really flying resist? Because my opponent's flying resist was Rotom Wash, and Rotom Wash was weak to Freeze Dry. My opponent's ice resistance was Rotom Wash, so I would definitely think my opponent's missing a Magearna somewhere on his team. But I'm not complaining. We're able to take advantage of this pretty glaring weakness that only really Articuno could fulfill, to be honest. Like, there's not many Freeze Dry Pokemon that really exist that could do this much damage, and yet Freeze Dry is able to knock out Rotom Wash, and we literally 6-0'd him with offensive Articuno. So that's going to be the end of the first battle. We do have a second battle, and my opponent has a much more threatening team, where I'd say it's equally as threatening, but he did cover the Steel type this time. There's a Magearna chilling right there. So my opponent is bringing a different team this time around, even though it looks very similar to the recent one she brought, but that is how overused tier team works. they just bring the same 6 Pokemon every game. So there's Landorus T and Kartana again. All I did in this battle was replace my Articuno with Jirachi because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get Weakness Policy Articuno to work 2 battles in a row against an overused tier player who seems to know what they're doing, just a little bit of a weakness in their recent team. But let's just hop right into the second battle, as it's a pretty good Wi-Fi battle. I bet you guys are gonna really enjoy this one. So my opponent's going to lead off with the Mega Medicham, as I decided to lead off with my Tapu Bulu yet again because I don't know how to play this tier. I just lead off with my Tapu every battle. Literally every time I just lead off with Tapu Bulu, unless like there's a big disadvantage in doing so, like my opponent has like Charizard Y or something. But lead off with my Tapu Bulu, and I'm not trying to stay in here and take an Ice Punch, and so I pull a Hard Switch into my Jirachi just to play it safe, as my opponent is going to Mega Evolve with the Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham really has no switch-ins on my team anyway, because I have no like Mega Sableye or anything like that. So Mega Medicham could just destroy me. My opponent doesn't be able to be Fake Out, and Fake Out Mega Medicham is super annoying because it can just get free chip damage against your entire team, and there's not much you can do about it. But thankfully, I do have a grassy terrain-based team, and I did build my team together, or threw it together based on grassy terrain. Like as you can see, I have Heatran, which appreciates the grassy terrain recovery and the reduced earthquake damage. Jirachi just synergizes with the grassy terrain, as you'll see why in just a moment. My opponent's going to bring in Landorus T to get him the Stealth Rocks, as I just choose to go for Secret Power here. Hopefully we can get the sleep chance. It's actually a 60% chance to put the opponent to sleep. Very high chances. It's actually the same chance as hitting Hypnosis, so you're pretty much just using Hypnosis while doing a bit of damage. Secret Power is thankfully going to put the Landorus T to sleep. Not bad, not bad. And I can just go for Stealth Rocks from here. I'm not too sure if my opponent wants to switch out from here or if he wants to burn off some sleep turns. I'm not going to spam Secret Power like a dick because I could break Sleep Claws in that way, and I'm not a big fan of breaking Sleep Claws. That is against the Smogon Bible, so I don't really want to break the Smogon Bible. So we're just going to lay up our Stealth Rocks. Even if Landorus T woke up, we do have the grassy terrain active, so I should be able to tank an Earthquake with ease and go from there. But now I'm not trying to stay in here to take an Earthquake, so I'm going to pull a Hard Switch into Hail to the King, my Nidoking, as my opponent's going to get 3 turns of sleep. Pretty unlucky on my opponent's behalf, but you know, that's just the reward I get for using Secret Power Jirachi. But now, my opponent's going to be fearful of the Ice Beam, as she definitely should, because Ice Beam is definitely what I'm going for here. In comes Magearna, as my opponent's going to get blasted by Ice Beam, but Magearna's going to be able to tank this really well because it's Magearna, and I could go for Earth Power this turn, and I'm hoping my opponent's fearful of that, and I'm actually Scarf Nidoking, so my opponent's going to just switch out in fear of the Earth Power, bring in the Latios, as I predict my opponent to try to pivot out of Earth Power. I go for a double Ice Beam, put in my prediction pants, cringe! Put in my prediction pants there, which is very cringy to say. I will never say that again, but I felt pretty proud of myself for making that play. So I go for double Ice Beam, hit the Latios on the switch in, as my opponent's going to bring Greninja here, making a very nice double switch because she predicts my switch into Jirachi, because Latios Jirachi switches in pretty good against Latios, so Greninja switching into Jirachi is a very good play. And now I predict my opponent to predict me to switch into Tapu Bulu, and so I stay in here with my Jirachi and go for Secret Power, fishing for a pair chance. I'm really hoping we can get this pair chance, as unfortunately we don't get the 60% pair chance because Grassy Terrain is expired, so now I can go for a Paralyzed chance. My opponent's going to pull a switch in a Landorus Therian form here, trying to burn off the last turn to sleep. Very understandable play. He's going to intimidate my Jirachi, so I just do 0 damage to him. But I'm going to pull a double switch myself in fear of this Landorus T, or just I want to bring a Tapu Bulu in general just to reapply my terrain and to get up my screens, because my opponent's team is very threatening. The Mega Medicham, like I said, I have no switch-ins to, so I need to set up my Reflect as soon as possible. Otherwise, the Mega Medicham and Kartana will be a big pain for me to deal with. Also, my opponent has no Tapu in this battle, so I pretty much have full terrain control as long as I keep Tapu Bulu alive. So that is why I brought in Tapu Bulu there, using my overused intelligence. Yes, but now my opponent's gonna go for Stealth Rocks here with Landorus T, as I just go for Reflect. I don't really care about Stealth Rocks all that much. It's not really too big of a deal. I don't really have anything on my team weak to Stealth Rocks, which is kind of surprising. I did remove Articuno, so my Stealth Rock weakness doesn't really exist anymore. And WeedleTwineedle actually using a team that's not weak to Stealth Rocks. What happened to you, buddy? But my opponent's gonna go for the U-turn here, trying to get some offensive momentum against my Tapu Bulu. But I see no reason not to just go for screens, no reason not to stack screens. In comes Kartana here, as I do believe I go for light screen. I'm not too sure what I go for here. Yeah, just go for light screen just to play it safe. I could have went for superpower there, expecting Kartana to come in though. That would have been a really risky play against Landorus T, even though Landorus T looked like I couldn't do much to Tapu Bulu because it's not running the Supersonic Sky Strike set, which is really scary to deal with, by the way. Like Landorus T being able to run that set, or a very defensive set, so you have no idea what it does unless you can just tell from damage calculations. But now I bring in my Jellicent here, not my Jellicent, my Reuniclus, my bad. I get those Pokemon mixed up. I don't know why. But my opponent's gonna go for Sword Stance here with the Kartana and Grassy Terrain, and I'm like, oh,
help me!
You know, we have Reflect active and we have the Grassy Seed active because we got Grassy Seed from Grassy Terrain. A Leaf Blade doesn't do all that much damage. Unfortunately, we do miss Focus Blast. I really need to hit Focus Blast against this Kartana, because if I don't, this Kartana will literally 6-0 my team. So I'm hoping we can hit a Focus Blast. Thankfully, Grassy Terrain wears off, so the increased damage no longer is an issue. So I'm able to go for Recover. My opponent can get a crit with Leaf Blade, so that is also something I'm fearful of, but I just decided to risk it for recovering anyway. Like, I need to get my health back, as my opponent's gonna go for another Leaf Blade, hoping that my opponent doesn't crit me here, as thankfully she does not. I do miss another Focus Blast, so I'm just like, oh my god, you couldn't pick a better time to miss Focus Blast, Reuniclus. Like, against a plus two Kartana, this is the Pokemon that sweeps me the most, by the way. Kartana is the Pokemon that sweeps me the most. I don't know why, it's just so stupid. I got swept recently by like a sub Sword Stance once the live period. I'm just like, alright, I guess just, yeah, cool. But thankfully, we finally killed Kartana. Kartana is just a piece of shit Pokemon, but we're able to knock it out, thankfully. But now, I don't want to give Greninja its free form, because Ash Greninja being able to pressure just by killing your team, like, you have to prevent Greninja from getting any kills to keep it in its balanced state. Like, I don't understand what Game Freak was thinking when they were making this form. It's a cool concept, but on paper it just makes for like an unfun way to play around the Greninja. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't really play Overuse, so my opinion is probably extremely biased, if you couldn't tell by my like aggressive way I'm narrating this battle, because I'm not a big fan of OU, if you guys couldn't tell. It's not my favorite tier to play. But yeah, my screen does expire, or my screens are starting to expire, so now I can just reapply them pretty freely. My phone's gonna pull a switch into Magearna, because Magearna doesn't really fear anything from Tapu Bulu outside of like Nature's Madness, but I don't really carry Nature's Madness. I decided to start carrying Superpower on this Bulu just for Kartanas and Pokemon of that sort, because god, they're super annoying and I just want to weaken them and just one-shot them. I should probably run enough attack investment to do that, but I don't run much attack investment on this Bulu. I don't think I run any. I think I run like next to death. I bring up my Heatran here, as my opponent is going to choose to go for the Iron Head, trying to weaken my Tapu Bulu, which was a fair enough play, I suppose. And Iron Head is not going to be doing too much damage to Tran, because Heatran obviously quad resists that. And under Grassy Terrain, I feel pretty comfortable staying in against Magearna, even if it has like all pummeling. I guess that's like the only way it could threaten me out, but I see it being like a more defensive oriented set, just from Iron Head being used instead of like Flash Cannon. So my opponent's going to bring in Landorus T against my Heatran. I just used to go for the Fire Blast, trying to weaken anything my opponent brings in. Landorus T is not going to appreciate this Fire Blast. It's going to nearly get knocked out. And Grassy Terrain's still active, so I'm pretty sure I can tank an Earthquake from Landorus T if I need to. And I'm still thinking if I should switch out or not. I decided to stay in here and go for Flame Charge instead, because I'm actually offensive Heatran with Flame Charge. Hope my opponent decides to just go for Earthquake, despite the fact I have a Bulu, and I could easily switch it in. As my opponent does choose to go for the Earthquake, surprisingly enough, we're able to tank that thanks to Reflect and Grassy Terrain. Activate our weakness policy with the Heatran. So we are running weakness policy, Flame Charge Heatran for the memes. Flame Charge Heatran. Try saying that 5 times fast, Jesus. That seems pretty difficult. But then again, I stutter in like every other sentence I say, so maybe that's just me. But yeah, +1 speed at +2 special attack. I'm just gonna go for Nature Power. I have Nature Power with the Grassy Terrain because it turns into Energy Ball, which is pretty powerful, coming off of Grassy Terrain boosted and a Heatran special attack. So that's the whole idea. With Grassy Terrain active, it's pretty much impossible to OHKO Heatran unless you're like a strong fighting type. And at that point, like, I just have screens up and like I could probably tank it. But now my opponent's gonna bring Greninja, go for Water Shuriken, and yeah, they decided to give Greninja a priority move. I don't know why. Just like, you know, a brand new form that its only counterplay is not letting it get kills wasn't enough. Let's give it priority, so it's able to revenge kill stuff. Very balanced idea, Game Freak. Good job. Round of applause for you. But now Greninja is going to transform into the balanced Ash Greninja form. God, I hate this form so much. I'm gonna bring in Tapu Bulu, and this is like my only counter to this Greninja at this point. But since Spikes and Stealth Rocks are up, this isn't a counter to Greninja. This Greninja is going to destroy me, and there's literally nothing I can do about it. My Tapu Bulu doesn't have recovery. I should probably give the Synthesis, but I like screens and Superpower Hornleech better, so I'm not sure. My opponent chooses to switch out and bring in a Magearna, and I'm pretty much forced to go for Light Screen if I want to have any chances of living attacks from Greninja. So I go for Light Screen. My opponent's going to bring in the Magearna. I'm sorry my voice is starting to go a little raspy, and this is a long battle if you couldn't tell from the duration of it. I'm going to take a sip of water. Staying hydrated is very important. I know you guys heard that swallow. ASMR, WeedleTwineedle Wi-Fi battles coming soon. But now in comes Nidoking. Hail to the king. Hope my opponent does not go for Ice Beams. My opponent chooses to switch out and brings in the Latios. I don't know if she was predicting my switch into Nidoking, but I know that the Latios is faster than me because I switched out against it, but it switched out before I did. And so I'm like, I'm Scarf Nidoking, so that means he's Scarf Latios. So my opponent predicts my switch into Jirachi. Knowing these things run Trick and Defog because it's like the retarded Smogon set of 2018, why would you run like Life Orb Latios when you can run Scarf, Defog, Trick Latios? Like, I just think this moveset is so bad. I understand it's meant for speed control and just you know, last ditch thing to deal with sweepers, but like, I just don't like this set. I may as well just use Latios at that point. Like, I just don't understand why Latios, but you know, it's just a little pet peeve I have with that Latios set. Okay, I don't care if you use it, it's just like, why? I don't understand. Why not use something else? Maybe there's like a specific reason for it, like knocking out Greninja or something, I don't know. But my opponent's gonna go for Sun Headbutt. I'm gonna bring in Jirachi. I wasn't really expecting Sun Headbutt. I was more of sacking off Jirachi because I have no switch-ins to the Medicham. But I guess Sun Headbutt was pretty much my opponent's only play to knock me out. So with Grassy Terrain and Leftovers, I'm feeling pretty confident I can live a high jump kick. Though at the same time, I'm like, is my opponent gonna really go for high jump kick while I have Jellicent alive? Nope. Especially since I have a massive lead, I don't think my opponent's gonna risk that. So my opponent is going to bring in the Magearnas. I just go for Secret Power Fishing for a sleep chance, as thankfully we do get the 60% chance to put the opponent to sleep. So now the Magearna is snoozing away. And I love Secret Power Jirachi. It's a funny meme, definitely, because outside of Grassy Terrain you can paralyze your opponent, kind of like Body Slam but weaker. And in Grassy Terrain you can put opponents to sleep. Obviously you cannot break Sleep Claws unless you just go for Secret Power like 10 times in a row. And I mean, I don't intend on doing that, so I don't see that being an issue, but I can see that being an issue for some people trying to use this on Showdown. But now I'm going to bring in Grape Jelly, my Jellicent. Very incredible original nickname for my Jellicent. I know I try really hard for my nicknames, okay? So this Jellicent's actually a Trick Room weakness policy set, and my opponent actually is faster than me, which is pretty funny. Usually like Magearna's hella slow, but I don't know. I'm gonna go for Trick Room because my Jellicent, well actually it was faster than me because of Trick Room, but I do see that it is faster than me because I'm slower, which I wasn't expecting. I thought Magearna would be faster than me, but I guess I was incorrect there. Hydro Pump does literally nothing, so it does reveal to me that he is a Assault Vest Magearna 100%. Like, the Iron Head pretty much confirmed it earlier, but now I know for a fact in that Hydro Pump damage, it did 0. It literally did, like, Ice Beam damage, but it's just because it's Magearna. Magearna's so bulky. Like, Assault Vest Magearna, like, soft checks pretty much every special attacker. Man, Magearna's pretty good. Like, Magearna's one of those Pokemon that you don't really lose much from running it on your team. My opponent gonna go for the Volt Switch. A big mistake, buddy. We're gonna activate
our weakness policy.
And not only that, my opponent's gonna be forced to bring in Magearna back in against Jellicent. Since Trick Room is active, I do outslow the remainder of my opponent's team, so my opponent's gonna be forced to bring back in the Magearna if she doesn't want to lose anything. So I actually have the momentum advantage for now, but my Trick Room turns are running low, and my opponent does realize that, which is why she throws in her Magearna. If I was really smart, I would have went for double Trick Room here, but I don't think that really would have done me much anyway because my light screen expired, so I couldn't really live the attack anyways. But we're able to, at the very least, knock out Magearna, which could have been an issue for my team. So at least Jellicent did something, but I mean, yeah, it's just not really, it wasn't really meant to be sweeping my opponent's team. Like, I just saw it being like, maybe you can live a Dark Pulse from Greninja with light screen up and like do damage to it, but like otherwise I didn't see it being too handy in this battle. Dark Pulse is gonna knock out my Grape Jelly, as down goes my Jellicent, unfortunately. But that's fine. The Greninja is locked in a Dark Pulse now, so I'm able to bring in Tapu Bulu here, and I'm like, oh, I'm a Fairy typing. I should be able to tank this, but the hazards do a lot of damage, and this is where Ash Greninja does the most work, because it's able to support itself by going for spikes. I mean, I think spec spikes is questionable, but at the very least, like, if you lock yourself into spikes, you're not completely useless and you're able to pressure switch-ins with spikes. I just don't understand the whole, like, Scarf Defog. Is it to beat, like, spec spikes? Like, is Scarf Defog meant to beat spec spikes? Like, that's what I'm wondering. But yeah, my opponent's gonna lock himself in the Dark Pulse, and I do have Scarf Nidoking in the back, and I hope my opponent falls for the Scarf Nidoking, as thankfully my opponent does fall for the Scarf Nidoking, though I was pretty sure my opponent was, my opponent figured out it was Scarf Nidoking by the end of the game, but we were able to knock him out with the Sludge Wave, and holy shit, this battle's so long. It's almost done though. My opponent's gonna bring in the Mega Medicham here, and I'm hoping that Sludge Wave does enough damage to the Mega Medicham to the point where it's just like my team can win. It's 3-1, so I'm feeling pretty confident. My opponent's gonna go for the Fake Out just to get some damage off on Nidoking. I didn't really think that was necessary, but just to do that, just to go for Fake Out, like, there's no reason not to go for Fake Out in this situation, right? Like, it just does damage, and my opponent doesn't have to risk Zen Headbutt. I mean, I don't think she had to anyway, but gonna go for Sludge Wave. Hopefully we get, like, a lot of damage off, maybe a crit, as unfortunately, we are unable to knock out the Medicham. We do a lot of damage, though, as Ice Punch is gonna knock out Hail to the King, unfortunately, and down goes my Nidoking. But we still have Jirachi left, and I'm not too sure if I could take High Jump Kick, but I'm still going to try anyway. Going to bring in Jirachi here. We're pretty healthy, so I'm feeling pretty confident with our base 100 defense and max HP. We should be able to tank High Jump Kick and win the game with Iron Head. My opponent's gonna go for the High Jump Kick. Pretty confident we can live, but Mega Medicham is an absolute monster. High Jump Kick, gonna knock out my Jirachi, unfortunately, and I only have one Pokemon left, and I don't think we can deal with the Mega Medicham. Gonna bring in Gummy Bear, my Jellicent, my Reuniclus. See, I keep getting them mixed up because like they both have like Reuniclus looks like jelly, and then Jellicent has jelly in its name, so it's like fuck. But yeah, my opponent gonna Ice Punch, knock out my Reuniclus, and we're gonna lose the battle. So yeah, we're gonna lose this battle, but we did beat my opponent with Articuno, so I guess I won one and I lost one, but that was still a very close and intense Wi-Fi battle against Kate. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle. I do apologize for the lower quality narration, but that's what happens when I narrate long battles. I kind of lose my train of thought, and like I do apologize for that. There was a lot of predictions going on in this battle, so I'm sure I missed some. I do apologize for that. Still trying to improve as a narrator. As you guys can probably tell, I'm not the perfect narrator for competitive battles, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this overused tier battle against Kate. It was pretty fun to battle her twice. She, got her redemption. She managed to beat me, get her revenge after sweeping her with Articuno. If you guys enjoyed the Wi-Fi battle and really want to support my channel, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button, as it really helps on my channel a lot more than you think, and it's always appreciated. Anyways, the question of the day is going to be, which Uber's Pokemon would you like to see be suspect tested in the overused tier? Let me know in the comments down below. If you could choose one Uber's Pokemon to be suspect tested and overused, which Uber would you choose and why? Like, would you think it would be balanced enough to stay in overused, or do you want to see the overused tier just burn? Now, my personal choice for this answer, I was going to choose Deoxys Defense and Speed, but I feel like those are pretty obvious answers. I'm going to pick Speed Boost Blaziken. Now, before you guys are like, Weedle, you're absolutely insane. You know nothing about the game, which you're definitely not wrong there, but hear me out, okay? So, Toxapex exists, right? Toxapex did not exist in the previous gen. Baton Pass was also banned by Smogon, so you just can't even run Baton Pass, so we don't have to worry about Speed Boost plus Baton Pass anymore. Toxapex literally beats Blaziken, unless you run it with like Tapu Koko plus Gigavolt Havoc Thunder Punch, or like Tectonic Rage, but even then, we could easily bait out Z moves, and it's not like Z moves breaking Pokemon is like a foreign thing. Like, look at Landorus T, like, I run Supersonic Sky Strike and have no counters in the tier. Like, I don't see how that's an issue. You also have Latios, which is used with like Scarf Defog, so you can SP Blaziken after one Speed Boost, and you can't even act like you're gonna be forced to win Scarf Defog Latios. Well, that's what all OE players do anyway. Like, come on. Tapu Fini exists. Tapu Fini literally makes Blaziken's existence like irrelevant, okay? Water Shuriken from Greninja exists, right? Like, there's a lot of countermeasures to Blaziken that there weren't in previous gens that I think it would be, checked and overused to a certain extent. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't be over centralizing and not broken, because it definitely would be. Like, Speed Boost plus, like Sword Stance and offensive moves, it'd be extremely strong, but I don't think it would be game breaking, and I think overuse could definitely handle it if the opportunity were to come up where Blaziken would be suspect tested. But I definitely understand if it will never be suspect tested, because the Pokemon is still very, very strong. But I'm just saying that that'd be my personal choice if it came down to one Uber I had to unban, because I love Blaziken myself, and it'd be like step one of making Blaziken usable on Showdown. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below which Uber's Pokemon you would like to see be suspect tested in the overused tier if you had the option to. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. If you guys are still watching, props to you. If you're still watching, be sure to leave in the comments that WeedleTwineedle is the best female PokeTuber. Tamashi has nothing on Weedle. But thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye.